Hey, my name is Ethan. I was born in 2003. Not exactly what you would consider the golden age of film photography. It was more like the boom and revolution of digital photography. My entire childhood was shot pretty much exclusively on a family home digital camera, you know, like the little point and shoot ones. Being born in 2003, right after the introduction of the iPhone. Film isn't necessarily something I'm nostalgic about. It's not a look that reminds me of my childhood or of simpler times. So because of that, my introduction to film was not a return to film like many people's is. Most photographers that are out there shooting film are older than me by give or take 10 years or so. So their childhood was shot much more prominently on film. So it has more of that nostalgic and vintage feel to them. To me, film has impacted my photography career in a much different way, and that's exactly what I'd like to talk about in this video today. This summer, while I've been at home from college, I've shot 7 rolls of film on my Canon F1 New. This video is actually the follow-up video to a video that's already up and on my channel called 4 months of film photography. In that video, I cover each and every one of the pictures that I took this summer and give my thoughts on each of them. So if you're here for the photos, go check that video out. That one is probably more for you. For this one, I'm talking specifically about my relationship with film and how I feel my opinion and take on it is a little bit different than one I've seen a lot on the internet already. In my senior year of high school, so about 3 years ago at this point, I found the film community on YouTube. At first, Grainy Days, but then various other film YouTubers as well. And I really fell in love with the process. I loved how different it was. I loved how much more I was learning about something that I already thought I knew very much about. I was really curious what film could offer me in ways of terminology and technology, and I was really interested to see if it may have an impact on my eye for photography and the way that I approach taking photos. And spoiler alert, it definitely did. So when I graduated high school in 2022, my parents gifted me this camera right here, the Canon F1 New. And we took a family trip to Utah to celebrate me graduating. In Utah, I shot 2 rolls of film, which I believe were Kodak Ultra Max. I could be completely wrong about that. I'm gonna fact check that. And I don't know, maybe the film wasn't as high quality as I thought it was, but the pictures were okay. I wasn't super blown away by them, but I learned very on that the process of taking the photo was much more rewarding than the actual result of the photo. I didn't care that the photos weren't exactly what I had in mind because I had such a great time shooting on this beautiful little camera right here. So fast forward a couple of years and I am in my sophomore year of college. That was my previous semester. I'm about to go into my fall semester of my junior year, and I'm a student photographer at my school. I work with our marketing team to shoot a lot of student life content that our college uses on various Instagram pages and social media feeds. Shooting with a team that's focused heavily on student life, you can imagine how busy we are on a college campus. So as much as I love shooting pictures and I'm doing exactly what I feel like I was born to do, burnout is inevitable because of the sheer amount of photos you're taking on a weekly and monthly basis. So going into the summer of my sophomore year, film photography became a break from digital photography from me. So this is going to be an absolutely awful metaphor, but imagine you really like traveling, but you're tired of driving in the car. So you decide to ride a bike through a nature trail instead and see new places. It's awful, yes, but driving is much more convenient and much quicker and just gets the job done faster. You're more focused on the destination than you are on like the actual trip, and you love traveling, right? So on a bike, you get to enjoy the process, you get to enjoy the trip, and then the destination may not be as important because you got to travel and you got to see new places on the way there. In this case, learning new things with film photography. It's not a great metaphor, but I hope you understand what I mean. I love photography, but I had a couple major issues. My first, I overshot everything. I would come back from every shoot with like 600 or 700 pictures. It was so exhausting to go through those and decide which ones I'm gonna edit. So first off, the switch to film photography limited me a lot because at the very most I have 36 exposures, so not 600 or 700. But second, I also had a really bad habit of underexposing my shots. So getting into film photography really taught me the importance of getting your exposure right in camera, because film notoriously doesn't have the latitude that digital does. While some films like Portra do have a lot of dynamic range, they don't have as much dynamic range as a high quality digital mirrorless camera. So for that reason, getting your exposure right in camera on film is very important, because you don't know if you'll be able to pull that data out of the shadows that, you know, you can't really see with the raw photo. So additionally to those two things that I've learned to be better at in photography, the camera that I have, the Canon F1 New, is manual focus only, which is the case for a lot of film cameras. Really the only ones that are gonna have autofocus are point and shoots, which are great a lot of the time, and I did shoot some of my photos on this summer, but for the most part they were on this camera with a 28mm manual focus lens. So that really taught me a lot about manual focus and how to nail it and get sharp images. And at first, I had a really hard time with that. You'll notice a lot of the pictures that I took at the beginning of the summer are out of focus. They're back focused. And I was upset by that at first, but I realized that it was going to be a great learning opportunity for me. And you'll see that the last two rolls that I just got back from my lab are actually tack sharp, like perfectly in focus, and I was stoked about that. That was so rewarding. And that's another great thing about film photography. I know this is cliche, but we really do live in a world now where the dopamine hits are so common, like they're just instant gratification everywhere. And film isn't like that, obviously. You can't look at the back of the camera and be instantly satisfied with the picture you took. You have to be in the moment, take the picture, go back to spending that time with your friends, and then you'll see the picture later. And it's honestly more rewarding that way. And that is something that I'm gonna miss going back to digital photography. Film photography is not a 365 days a year thing for me. It's something that I'm going to constantly come back to when I need a fresh start and I need to rekindle my love for photography, but it's just not practical for me to shoot every single day, and that's okay. It is 2024. We have incredible technology at our disposal, at our fingertips at all time. You don't have to use the vintage, relic technology just because it's trendy. There are a lot of people getting into it for that nostalgic look, and because it's, everybody wants the grain nowadays. Everybody's shooting on disposables. And it's analog, it's tactile. You can't shoot thousands of pictures at a time. We're kind of tired of the digital thing. And those are great reasons to shoot film. For me, I found that it really rekindled my love for photography, taught me new things about photography, because film has so many interesting quirks and mechanics to it that digital doesn't. And it taught me the importance of getting your exposure right and nailing your focus. And I think that those are just invaluable lessons to learn as a photographer. It's okay to step back every once in a while, to take a break from what you're used to and go to something new. I feel like the process of having to start at the very beginning again, knowing absolutely nothing, and work my way back to a basic understanding of this has made me a better photographer all around, and has been super rewarding, and I couldn't have done it without film. So when I go back to school next semester, I'm gonna be shooting probably exclusively digital, but without a doubt, I will be coming back to film for the same reasons that I came to it this summer. If you enjoyed this video, go check out my other one going over all of the pictures I took this summer. I think you'll really like it. Some of the images that I got are really great. You won't find any basic nighttime gas station film photos on there, but you will find other cliche film photos. So you have that promise from me. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to make more videos in the future, maybe some of my experiences shooting digital at school and going on some shoots with y'all there. But for now, have a good one. Thanks for watching.